Well, good afternoon, and thank you all so much for being here to kick off Orange County's 31st annual Blue Ribbon Campaign. This is all in recognition of April's Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we are so excited to have everyone here today. My name is Kalina Estrinos. I'm honored to be a part of this really important event. I was here last year, and I was moved. I was touched. I could not stop talking about all the incredible work everyone was doing here. And also just honoring the lives that were lost is really moving. So I was honored to be asked to come back again this year. And I'm excited to hear about all the incredible work everyone's doing and will continue to do in order to fight child abuse. As anchor and reporter for KCAL News, I have had the privilege of covering stories about families and children facing difficult challenges and conditions. But I've also seen the incredible work that's been done to lift them up thanks to the services, resources, and most of all, love that many of you provide. Your efforts make a world of difference, and it's inspiring to be a part of, and of course, to also witness as well. Today, we're here celebrating and launching a month-long campaign focusing on preserving the wonder of childhood. It's a powerful reminder of why we come together to protect and support the next generation. We all have a shared responsibility to protect and nurture the children around us, and today it's about reminding ourselves of the roles we play in safeguarding their futures. It's our hope that everyone here leaves today with the deeper understanding of how we can all contribute to addressing child welfare, more importantly, the inspiration to take action and help preserve the wonder of childhood. I'm thrilled now to introduce Eldon Baber, who will take us through an overview of Blue Ribbon Month. And let's dive into making everything really meaningful today. Come on up.
Thank you, Kalina. First, let me say thank you to all of our partners that are here. County Social Services, all of the nonprofits that are part of our network across the county that are addressing the needs of families. I, for one, know that I could not do my job without you. And the partnership that we've enjoyed over the years as the Raise Foundation throughout all of the county with this variety of organizations and entities has been a pretty powerful thing for me, just personally. And I wanted to say thanks right off the bat to everybody. Child Abuse Awareness Month, April. Welcome to the beginning of one more time around the block for us all. I know some of us have been doing this for quite a long time. Some of us are new to this particular activity. Child Abuse Awareness Month it's a special time for all of us that work with children and families. Abuse, neglect, maltreatment it's not something that hides off on one side of the county. Every city, every community is touched by this issue in varying degrees. For us, this month is all about bringing awareness. As Kalina said, this is alerting the community, bringing families to the forefront, making people understand that this is an issue that we all need to pay attention to, and that we all need to partner with. From the standpoint of what we do during this month, you're going to be seeing a lot of things. I mean, you Pinwheels, we have pinwheel gardens. We do a art contest. You will see with some of the posters and signage that we've got here that artwork submitted to our committee, our Blue Ribbon Committee, is used throughout the year. We create these signs, we do public postings, we do a variety of public events. We kick off, obviously, the month with this event. As Kalina said, we will be acknowledging the children who perished last year as a result of abuse and neglect. Kind of a sobering reminder of the value of what we do. At the same time, we do a lot of fun stuff. So we have Wear Blue Day, right? At our table, there is a calendar that you should all pick up and take with you. It's that old style stick on the wall calendar. It has artwork from all of the months, right? So it also has resources in there, and there's also a schedule for you to use that actually says, hey, on this day during April, try doing this, right? So it's a great schedule to use. It's a great schedule to follow. Part of what we do today is actually acknowledge people, some individuals and organizations through a award process And we've got some pretty fantastic nominations. It's always very difficult. I'm going to leave the formal introduction about that to Kalina, but I just want you to know that there have been some pretty serious, very thoughtful nominations made this year, and it was difficult for our awards committee to actually narrow it down. I mean, when I sat and looked at those things, I can't make a choice here. I mean, let's just give everybody an award, right? I'd love to be able to do that. I can't because I'm not in charge of the committee. So that's how it works. But with that, I again just want to thank you all for being here. It's a sad thing that we have to actually pay attention to these issues. I wish that we could just wave a magic wand and have them go away, but we all know that that's not the case. So together, working as a team, working as a community, we can make an impact. And that's what this month is about, trying to encourage people to join the team. Alina?
And the good thing is we're all winners because we're all raising awareness and in all of this together, which is what this is all about. Okay, so it is now my honor to go ahead and introduce the recipients of this year's Blue Ribbon Award and Shining Light Awards. This year, like you heard him mention, we received truly inspiring submissions showcasing the incredible work that each and every one of you do and is doing to improve our community. While not everyone can win, we would still like to take a moment to acknowledge the efforts of some exceptional individuals. So we're starting off right now with Orange County Sheriff's Department Computer Forensics Detail Team for their outstanding work in addressing crimes related to child exploitation, abuse, and trafficking. I'll give them a little round of applause. We also have Mara James, founder of the Extraordinary Lives Foundation, for her tireless advocacy and commitment to improving the lives of children and families. If you're here, wave. In honor. Okay. We also have Benjamin Sanchez, Associate Director of Jamboree Housing Corporation, for his community first mindset, dedication, and collaborative spirit in making a real impact. Good job, Benjamin. And Anaisa Valladolid, a school psychologist at Twyla Reed Elementary School, who champions the needs of every child, ensuring they have a safe space and the opportunity to experience the full joy and wonder of childhood. Okay, now it's time to announce the winners in each category. The Blue Ribbon Award honors individuals whose vision and leadership have resulted in the prevention of child abuse and the promotion of better parenting. This award specifically recognizes those working in the field of child abuse prevention. So this year's Blue Ribbon Award winner is, drum roll please. That's a bad drum roll, but we're doing it. Dr. Agron, founder of Clinic in the Park. Dr. Abram was nominated by Emma Corse, who describes her as a visionary in recognizing gaps in injury prevention with the ability to bring together people and organizations to make a difference. A gastroenterologist by trade, Dr. Agron saw firsthand the devastating effects of preventable injuries in children, and because of her passion and expertise, she became a leading advocate for safety measures that have shaped laws and saved countless lives. So please join us in accepting this Blue Ribbon Award, Dr. Phyllis Agron.
I have 2 minutes, so cut me off. First of all, I'm really honored and privileged to receive this award, but it belongs to all of you. And you're the inspiration, and you're going to move us forward in these times. We collaborate, we partner, we innovate, and I have to thank the Raise Foundation, who's one of our star partners at the American Academy of Pediatrics, Orange County. And each one of you works tirelessly to preserve the life and the dignity and the rights of children, and that's what we need to do. Now more than ever, you see what's going on at the federal level in terms of cuts to health care, food, housing, and all the other services that our kids need. And it's now time to stand up, speak up, and advocate from the clinic to the community to the federal and state levels to do what needs to be done for children. We can't let this happen. And thank you. And again, every one of you has an action may to speak up. So thank you.
One thing to know, I'm literally just a mess all the time. So thank you for bearing with me on all of this. But congratulations, and you're incredible. And I mean, last year, I'm telling you, I went home and I just cried my eyes out because you guys are living angels for all the work that you're doing in the community, and just having this event, acknowledging everybody. It's just so beautiful to be a part of it. So thank you. And let's keep it going. So next up, we have the Shining Light Award, which honors individuals who have made significant contributions to the protection of children. This award can be given to anyone working with children in any capacity. So the Shining Light Award winner is Jessica Cedillo, coordinator for the Stanton Family Resource Center. There she is. Jessica was nominated by Ann Wynn, who wrote, "Jessica is deeply dedicated to advocating for children and their families. She constantly looks for ways to support the well-being of children through creative and engaging activities that empower them to find their voices and grow into strong members of their community." Are you shy? Don't be shy. She also works tirelessly with parents, helping them access resources that improve their lives and support their families. Jessica is motivated by a firm belief in the resilience of families and the potential of our community. Her top priority as a coordinator is ensuring that all children feel safe, loved, and protected, giving them a space to thrive and experience the full wonder of childhood. Jessica, congratulations.
Hi, everyone. Well, I'm very excited to be here alongside my bosses right here. It was such a surprise. Well, I'm very grateful to the City of Stanton, and the BACK Network, Families and Communities Together, has always supported the children in our community, including myself, who grew up in one of the FACT FRCs in the City of Stanton. And I'm just so excited to be here. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to the Orange County Rapid Response Network, who has recently advocated for the expansion of the protection to the children in mixed status households. So I'm very excited to see the continued advocacy that they provide.
So let's go ahead and introduce someone who's here today to share her powerful and inspiring personal journey. As a system-impacted teenager, she navigated a series of unimaginable challenges, from foster care to incarceration, addiction, and trafficking. Yet it's through these struggles that she found her voice and transformed her experience into a platform for change. Her story sheds light on the unseen risks many children face and the critical importance of intervention, support, and guidance. And today she is using her lived experience to inspire others and remind us that every child has untapped potential that can only be realized with the right care and support. So we want to welcome right now Martha Trujillo, who will share her incredible story and journey with us. Martha.
I'm honored to be here today. As I stand here, I'm not just a speaker. I want you guys to see me as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transforming power of a young girl's dedication and dream to be someone. My journey began here in Orange County, where as a teenager, I found myself trapped in a cycle that many young individuals face today and right now. And that cycle was of vulnerability, misguided choices, and pain, all of which led to low self-esteem, delinquency, and deep-rooted trauma that goes oftentimes from generation to generation. At a very young age, I was seen as a troubled youth, a system-impacted, gang-involved, drug-addicted, promiscuous, unstable, juvenile delinquent, labels I thought I chose to have. But when in reality, those labels were actually forcefully acquired and attached to me due to the obstacles I was unfortunately blessed to have in my young life. I'm here to share my story so that I can bring not just awareness, but faith. Faith that we as adults need to stand in front of children of our communities and fight the battles that we see coming up ahead that they probably don't see. It makes all the difference but not right away, but one day. We have to hold faith in one day, because as much as we want to plant the seed and watch it bloom before our eyes, we must be okay with simply preparing the foundation and tending the soil, so that next time that child comes across a supportive adult, they are ready to receive that seed and have it planted in their heart and in their mind. So setting the right foundation is key. Being proactive and preventative in the child's life is important, because if we let one critical moment in their life go unnoticed or unseen, it can potentially lead to other situations, as we often see time and time again. It's really a domino effect, and it's a pipeline that leads to circumstances no child should be experiencing. I was still in elementary school when the lack of supervision in my life became apparent to me. My mother, a single parent. Sorry, I've done a lot of speeches and I've never gone emotional like this. I think it's just the month. I hold it very dear to my heart, so please bear with me. She worked tirelessly and it was never enough. We moved around a lot, and I remember the constant impact of needing to move because landlords sold off properties to build new ones. We were very poor. And with no one to keep me home, I started misbehaving and leaving home to explore my neighborhood. This lack of supervision and being a part of a marginalized community set me on a path where ultimately set me up for risk factors that were waiting for me. Exploring my neighborhood quickly led me to come across other youth probably going through the same things I was going through. Together we roamed the streets at night and got into trouble. I was very young. This led me to getting jumped into a gang at 10 years old. And I was only 10. I have a 10-year-old son right now, and it baffles me. Everything after this started to just spiral and go downhill. My mother became ill, and at 11, I went into foster care. I was placed at Orangewood Children's Home. At the same time, I started smoking weed, drinking, and it was the starting point of my addiction to methamphetamine. I felt unloved, hurt. To have been removed from my mother in my foster care home, I felt only darkness and started to get a taste of what true unhappiness felt like. I had no support, and although I had my little sister, she was not experiencing this ordeal the same way I was. And that's okay. I didn't want her to. I needed to make money on my own to get my basic needs met. And by the age of 12, I was expelled from my school district in Fullerton for selling and doing drugs on campus. Being expelled and now attending continuation schools with minimal attendance required gave me the freedom to become more active in the streets. At the age of 13, I was arrested for assault and battery and first-degree robbery, and I was incarcerated. I was put on probation. My childhood was spent in the courthouse, trying to fight tickets, violations of curfews, gang terrorism, and additional crime I don't want to mention. And I remember always being respectful in court, always with my hair slicked back. I swear, I think I was born like this. And I just had a fascination with the structure of court, the way the law functioned. The way I understood it was, if I can argue my case better by using the letter of the law, then I can beat my ticket or my violation. So I would do just that. I've been my strongest advocate, but also my biggest critic and enemy. By the time I was 15, my addiction to meth had become stronger, so much so that it led to things I swore I would never be a part of. I fell into the dark world of trafficking. By 15, which is a sacred time in a Latina's young life, and I had been surrounded by smiling faces, yet I found myself in motel rooms with people eager to be with a minor and pay as much money to do so. My addiction had made me weak and susceptible to these risks, but my traumatic life experiences up until then fueled my desire to get high and forget I was lost and alone. I continued to experience obstacle after obstacle, all while trying to stay in school and graduate high school. I was extremely truant. I was high on meth while attending high school. I was still gangbanging and still on probation. No one at my high school ever asked me about my foster care dependency, my truancy, or why I was on probation. As a juvenile, I was arrested 30 times. During that time, I was doing my best to manage my life, but the truth was I was the only one who truly understood what I was going through. I didn't have anyone I could turn to. I was scared of sharing about my addiction or being a gang member. The only thing that anchored me through that chaos was writing. Since I was 10, I've been documenting my life, my struggles, my pain, my hopes. To this day, I still write. I have 35 journals now, each one a chapter of my journey. In those pages, my journals became my safe place. They were my thing. I didn't have a person I could rely on, but my journals became that person for me. I dedicated them to God, and within their pages, I would pour out my heart, seeking guidance and forgiveness, and above all, clarity. They were my way of connecting to something bigger than myself when I felt completely lost. Through writing, I found a sense of peace, a place where I can be honest with myself and God. Against all odds, I graduated high school at 17, still struggling with my addiction, but still surviving. I remember the rush of accomplishment when I walked across the stage. It was the first time I felt I had truly achieved something. Though the world had may see me as a lost cause, I never stopped believing in myself. I've had faith in my future since I was 10. And today I'm proud to say that my faith was not misplaced. Those journals today I wrote as a troubled youth are given to college students to read in their writing course. Today I have 2 degrees, one in criminal justice and the other a master's degree in criminology. Today I'm a business owner, I am a mom, and I'll be applying to law school in the fall. The crazy part is I'm not done, and I know that. I get to come out and do speeches to organizations and events and share my experiences with young kids. My resilience helped me break my own cycle, but it wasn't easy. Had I had a supportive adult in my life during those tough times, maybe my childhood could have been savaged earlier on. My seed, my potential could have blossomed sooner rather than later. I would like to leave you with this. We all have a part in breaking the cycle. It starts with standing up for children in our communities, supporting them when they can't see the path forward, and believing in the power of one adult to make a difference. Together, we can ensure that no child is left behind and they can live their childhood as free as possible from the weight of trauma. No child is a lost cause, and no child should fight alone. Let's do our part to create a better future, one where the cycle of abuse is broken and children can thrive, and remembering that the preservation of a child's childhood is our social responsibility. Thank you.
Look, everyone's standing for you. Look, Marka. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I cried, but I'm so proud of you, and I know everyone here is also very proud of you. And it's so vulnerable for you to go ahead and share your story. And, you know, we saw you get emotional as well as you're telling it. So I can't even imagine what that was like going through. But thank you for sharing, and thank you for spreading the word, and thank you for trying to help other kids not go down the same path and turn their lives around just like you did. It's amazing. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Eileen Solis, who has recently been appointed as judge for the Orange County Superior Court. Eileen has a distinguished legal career, having served as a commissioner at the Orange County Superior Court since 2022. She's also been a sole practitioner and attorney at Amesqua Mole & Associates, and a partner at both Brown and Charbonneau LLP and Courier & Solis. Eileen's experience spans over 2 decades, and we are honored to have her today. Please join me in welcoming in Judge Eileen Solis.
Good afternoon, and thank you for that wonderful, inspirational journey through your life, for sharing. It's a very personal story, and I really appreciate it. I'm a judge assigned to the family law panel here in Orange County, and your story is what keeps us going every single day. And it makes me feel emotional, and I just heard you for the first time today. So I was asked what I would call my portion of today's presentation, and I said, well, family law, it's more than the division of pots and pans. And it sounds kind of cold in a way, but that's kind of the impression I had about family law before I was assigned to this panel. Although I had practiced family law prior to being appointed as a judge, it was much different being an advocate, because I could tell my client, look, you know what, if the pots and pans really mean that much to me, then great, exchange something else for, in exchange for the pots and pans you take, and let the other person have the TVs or something. And what really, really was important to me were the children of a marriage and the relationship between the parents going forward. So in retrospect now, I think I was preparing all along to be assigned to the family law panel, although that was not my first choice. Because as you can imagine, it's very difficult when you are tasked with, where do these children belong? What is in the best interest of the children? When you have to make decisions on sometimes not a lot of information, and most often it's information given to you by two parents who are warring with each other because they didn't get the pots and pans they wanted, and now they're treating their children like an object. And it's pointing fingers at the other parent. And this parent is not good enough, and I am better. And that's what we see in court. Most, believe it or not, the statistics that we hear about, 50% of relationships ending in divorce. While true, we don't see 50% of those people in court. We see a very small percentage. We see about 5 to 6% of that 50% population. We only get a small percentage of litigated cases that involve custody issues, that involve true family issues more than the pots and pans. Out of that small percentage, it takes up about 80 to 90% of the court resources just to address litigation in custody areas. Domestic violence cases make up quite a bit of that, intertwined with the custody fight. Let me just give you a couple of numbers here. And these are as good estimates as we could get from our court files. But in 2024, 9,015 petitions were filed in Orange County alone for dissolutions, nullities, and legal separations. That's a 4% increase from the prior year. We had 403 petitions to do solely with custody and support. Not even a divorce. It's just people decided they weren't sure if they wanted to get divorced, or they were never married. They just have a child or children together, and they come to court to ask for custody orders or support orders. That was an 8% increase from the prior year. And our domestic violence filings, unfortunately, went up by 10% last year, a total of 5,442 cases. That's a lot of work for 17 judicial law judges and 4 commissioners trying to get to everyone and allowing them to have their day in court. Most of the litigants that come to court are self-represented, and like Martha, do a great job of arguing their own case and using the law. And people, let me tell you, are very, very, very intelligent and know how to use that law to turn it around. And they lose sight of the most important thing, the best interest of their child. My colleagues and I often wonder what we can do to stop the venom that often comes out that impacts the children. What we've started to do is to interview minors in chambers a little more than we used to. A lot of times we have our social services, our mediation within our courthouse assist us in interviewing minors and conducting partial custody investigations to give us some feedback, give us some recommendations of what we can do to assist this family. There's just not enough resources, but we need to find a way to get to the best way to help our families to stop this constant inability to get along, because what happens along the way, the children get lost. Children sneak out. Children start gathering the wrong places. Children often become the parents, and it's so unfair to a child to lose their childhood to parent their parents. As part of our judicial training, we have to go away to what's called judicial college. And part of that judicial college includes taking a trip to San Quentin prison. So you can imagine 2 busloads of judges from all over the state showing up at San Quentin, and being told, don't worry, you'll be fine. We have enough guards. The prisoners outnumber the guards, like I think 5-1 or something crazy, right? Well, when we got there was a group of 20, as they call themselves. They're not inmates. They're, the name just slipped my mind right now, but they don't refer to themselves as inmates. They're incarcerated. There are 20 incarcerated that met us. And these gentlemen are working towards having extra privileges within the system and actually doing something with their life while they're incarcerated. And out of the 20, only one of the incarcerated told us that he had a really good home. He had parents that loved him. He went to school. He did not need anything in life. There was no want in his life. And he said, I chose my path. It broke my parents' heart. I chose this path, and I know now I'm here for life. They were all very accepting of their crimes and why they were there. They were accepting of the fact that many of them were lifers, and they understood that that was their penalty for the crimes they committed, and they were willing to work within the system. The interesting part came when we were talking to the other 19 gentlemen that were our guides for the day throughout the prison. And they told us about one. I still remember this young man is 42. He was sentenced when he was 19 years old. So half his life's already been in prison, and he's a lifer. And he said, being part of the gang was better, safer, and less physically and emotionally painful than being home and being subjected to my father. It boggled my mind that I would choose to be out on the street, part of a gang committing crimes, because I felt safer and it hurt less than to be home. Another young man, well, he's not a young man anymore. He was, I think he said he was 52 now. But his crime started when he tried to stop his father from hitting his mother. And mom went to grab the phone to make a call to the police. Father grabbed her by the hair and threw across the room. So this young man I think he said he was 12, picked up the phone instead to call. His father let go of mother, came out at the boy, grabbed his shirt, pulled him to the stove, got his face down near the stove and said, go ahead and call. This is what's going to happen to you. And the young boy dropped the phone. Mother, fortunately, was able to run out and get some help. And after that, this young man said, hey, the cops came, they talked to my father. My father got a slap on the hand, had to do a little prison time. And he got away with it. So I figured, why can't I get away with running with my gang friends? And it started down this whole other side of his life. When we left that prison, those of us the judges that came from family law panels throughout the state met. And we had a conversation about what do we do with families to help them from the very beginning? How do we stop the continual generational dysfunction in the family? How can we help as judicial officers with our partners in the community, the social workers, police officers, physicians? We're all part of this group that need to collaborate to educate. And this is why this organization is so wonderful, that helps to reach out to communities, to help educate, to reach out and give resources. Many people have a concept of there's help out there, but they don't know how to find it. They come to court. We are busy trying to give them their time, their day in court, speak up, tell us what's happening. But there's only so much time, so many lawyers and judges and social workers and mediators that can assist on a day-to-day basis within a court system. It's going to take the whole community. While it sounds kind of contrite and maybe a little overused, it does take a village to keep children safe, to keep families educated, and to help them to maintain a healthy environment for their children. Lately, my comment to parents who are high conflict parents and pointing fingers at each other, I don't know if this is a little bit of a guilt trip, a little bit of a reach into my mom brain and see how I can, help my children make better choices. I'll say to these parents, I want you to think about something for a moment. Pretend, number one, that you are whatever their child's age is. And think about the way you interact with the other party right now. That you are 8 years old, 7 years old, 15 years old. You are witnessing this. What is that making you feel inside? Think about it from that perspective. Put yourself in your child's shoes. They didn't ask to be here. You brought them here. Why are we here today in court? Now I want you to fast forward. Make it 20 years from now, 25 years from now. Now it's your child that is going to be sitting in those chairs before a judge. Is that what you want for your child? I've had litigants, some cry, some have no reaction whatsoever, and some actually will say, thank you, because I never looked at it from that perspective. They're so busy being angry, hurt, feeling betrayed, whatever their position is, that they forget that they have these children. And they choose at that point to cooperate. I think this is where I get the buy-in from them. Let's find the resources. Let's find the help. Let's figure out a plan. And my calendar is filled all the way to August now with either trials or hearings, but I have a lot of review hearings, because what I like to do is have these families come back. Tell me what's happening. How are you doing with your therapy, with your parenting therapy, your individual therapy, your reunification therapy? And more, like I said earlier, I'm talking to the children. And sometimes I find these children so much more insightful than the parents. And they actually help. These kids are loyal and they're honest. They want to be loved and they want to love. And I want them to have that opportunity. We all the judicial officers work toward that end, to having children safe, to be able to grow. And we so appreciate all of our partners in the community, all of you, in helping us reach that goal, to keep the children safe, to keep them in a place where they won't have to take the long road to come out the successful story. We'd like them to take a better route to get there. So thank you again for everything that you all do in your individual capacities, and thank you to the Raise Foundation for all the work that they do, and I appreciate all of you being here this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Now we would like to introduce Scott Furdick, Deputy Director for SSA's Children and Family Services Division. Come on, Scott.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for all the work that all of you do to help us prevent child abuse and neglect. On behalf of the Children and Family Services Division of the Orange County Social Services Agency, it's an honor to join you today to kick off our Blue Ribbon Month. This is an opportunity for us to highlight the important mission of community partners like the Raise Foundation and to reaffirm our shared responsibility to nurture, protect children. Right now, there's more than 665,000 children that live in Orange County. These children are full of promise. They're our future leaders, our future innovators, and our future problem solvers. And last year alone, 26,172 children were referred to SSA due to allegations of abuse or neglect. These children were identified by teachers and therapists, law enforcement, relatives, neighbors, and other responsible and protective citizens who saw something and spoke up. Thanks to their action and vigilance, our social workers were able to intervene, assess the situation, and if needed, provide services and support. The Social Services Agency is committed to ensuring that every child, regardless of their background and circumstance, has the opportunity to grow up in a safe, nurturing, and loving home, where they're empowered to become healthy and successful adults. Keeping families out of crisis is crucial in preventing child abuse. Through partnerships with organizations like the Raise Foundation, we work to raise awareness and create pathways for these at-risk families to access the services before intervention is needed. While this work is essential, the most meaningful change comes from all of us. Everyone has the power to make a difference in a child's life. One of the most impactful ways to have a positive impact is by opening your hearts and your homes to become a foster parent. Many children cannot live with their parents due to these difficult and heartbreaking circumstances, but these children need homes that are filled with love, support, and stability. Becoming a resource parent or a foster parent means providing a child not just with a home, but with a foundation for hope and healing. Fostering can be challenging, and it's not for everyone, but anyone can help. If you know someone that is interested in opening their heart and their home, please encourage them to learn more. If you're interested in making an impact, please call 1-888-871-5437 or visit our website at OC4Kids, that's OC4Kids.com, to discover more about becoming a foster family. And as always, if you ever suspect abuse or neglect, child abuse hotline at 714-940-1000 or 800-207-4464. To remember, a single phone call can save a life. Together through awareness, action, and compassion, we can build thriving communities to ensure that every child is safe, supported, and free to dream. Together we can protect society's most vulnerable and have a positive impact that echoes across generations. Together we can preserve the wonder of childhood. I'd like to take a moment and honor the 6 children who were determined within the last year that have passed away in Orange County due to abuse or neglect. Today we would like to honor Asher, 1 month old. Arthur, 3 years old. Lily, 3 years old. William, 4 months old. Bahim, 3 years old. And Violet, 9 years old.
Thank you so much for that, Scott. And thank you for providing us with such an important and amazing and emotional tribute. May the children we honor today rest in peace, and may our collective efforts throughout 2025 Blue Ribbon Month campaign and beyond serve as a lasting tribute to them working toward the end of child maltreatment. Before we close, I want to express my deepest gratitude to every single one of you for everything you're doing and for opening your hearts to helping all the children and the families that you possibly can. The impact of your work is immeasurable, and the difference you make is truly invaluable. Thank you so much for all that you do. It's been a true privilege to serve as your MC. And with all of us taking action this April, I have no doubt that countless children and families' lives will be better because of it. As we conclude today's ceremonies, we want to remember that the spirit of this event is about inspiring each of us to make a difference. So to close, we're going to take a group photo to symbolize the planting of a pinwheel for Prevention Garden. So please pick up a pinwheel. And then we want to gather together for that photo to officially kick off this powerful symbol of hope and change.